Gay men of Reddit, have you ever met a hetero couple where you instantly knew the boyfriend/husband was secretly gay? If so, how did you find out? I was in the subway station leaning against my then boyfriend. We were a fairly good-looking, young couple. This middle-aged man and his wife were across the platform waiting for the opposite subway. He was staring at us quite a bit and was really bad at hiding it. At first I usually just think that maybe people don't see a lot of gay PDA. After a few minutes she was noticing him stare for prolonged periods of time. She looked troubled by that. Gaydar is never 100%, and there are plenty of hetero married B people who confuse the issue even further. I feel like the only people I've ever looked at and thought that guys gay as fuck were either people who were married, so they didn't get disowned or something. This used to be pretty common, or religious people who were lying to themselves. In the first case, everyone usually knew. I dated a girl whose dad hit on me constantly, which was a bit pervy because I was underage, and a bit horrifying because I still thought I was straight at that point, and it was really fucking confusing. I finally mentioned it to the girl that he was hitting on me, not that I kinda liked it, and she said, "Oh, yeah, he likes guys. I'm not even sure he's my dad, so, yeah." But they never got divorced. Lot of other drama there though, as you'd expect. With the second sort, man, they can keep that lie up forever. So a lot of times you never know if they're gay or not, unless they finally get caught or something. He complimented my escritoire. I wouldn't say instantly, but I have been contacted by one via Facebook Messenger that asked me how I knew that I was gay and what the process was like coming out. He has a kid and thinks he is gay, but doesn't want to leave the relationship because of his kid, and honestly it's a tough spot to be, because if you stay, is that fair to the person you are with? Is it fair to you? On the other hand, if you leave, how hard will it be on her and the kid? That was 5 years ago. He is still in the same relationship. I remember reading a post a few years back like this. Of course 80% of the stuff on that sub is fake, but it was a good story, real or not. A woman with 3 kids and a 20-year marriage posted that she was being demonized for not supporting her soon-to-be ex-husband coming out. She said that her friend group was mad at her because she couldn't be happy that he was done living a lie. Of course she was the lie. She had been the lie for 20 years. The life she knew, and the life and love she expected to continue into old age was the lie. I've definitely met married men who instantly seemed gay to me, but I never say anything about it because it's not my business, and I don't need to be stirring up drama in anyone's life. In high school there was a girl I knew who was dating a really cute boy who was a year older than us. I had a feeling the dude swung the other way, but I found out when I saw him on Grindr while he was dating her. Now he's openly gay. Good for him, I guess. This is going to sound horrible, but I found that happened a lot at my high school. If a really good looking guy was dating a not so hot girl, he came out as gay later on. It actually happened to me. I was not cute in high school at all, and freshman year dated a Jared Leto look-alike. I couldn't believe I landed him, and at the same time, was surprised I felt absolutely no chemistry. We mutually broke up, and sure enough, he came out the next year. And B, met more than my share of men that said some variation of my wife knows and is understanding. You ever see that show Chris Lee Knows Best? I found out because he was checking me out and then told me he was going to come out to his family. We hung out a bit and it was nice. One time while walking in to work I slipped on the ice and he caught me and kept his arm around me as we ice shuffled in. I asked him what he'd do if anyone thought anything inappropriate, and he said he didn't care. He got a divorce, his wife was a cheater, and we reconnected, and now we are happily married 8 years later. I've never met someone who was so obviously just gay, but I've noticed some friends who seriously let the 100% straight thing slide in one-on-one situations in ways which are quite overtly sexualized conversations. I think it's more indicative of sexuality being varying degrees of fluid. My best friend who's identifies as straight is a pretty overt flirt. I think more people are bi than will admit it. People joke a lot about college girls experimenting yada yada, but at least in my experience there's lots of dudes who are bi-curious or bi as well. It's just stigmatized so much. Oh, you're just gay and closeted, you are slutty / a cheater, gross, you're not a real man, etc. that they don't admit to it as much. I recognized him because he blew me in my car several years earlier when we were in college. He could be bi. Short answer, yes, because of Grindr. I live in the South, and it happens every few months. Religion is a hell of a closet decoration. It's not my business to out somebody. They'll face it or they won't. I'll just leave it at that. Like, this isn't quite what the question is, but I feel compelled to answer nonetheless. Youngest of 4 kids. My father came out as gay to my family and I when I was 9 years old and 3 months shy of my parents' 20th anniversary. I'm now a junior in college, and honestly I have always felt somewhat shamed by my situation. Over the past several years, I have started to appreciate the uniqueness of my situation, but a part of me always feels that my mother regrets marrying my dad. My mom and dad still have a pretty good relationship, but every day I ask myself how happy she is considering the circumstances. I know she loves me and my siblings more than anything in the world, but I can't help but feel for her. She thought she had married the love of her life, then she learned one day that it was all based on a lie. However, I also am compelled to support my dad. From what he has told me, he wasn't really certain he was gay until later in life. I'm unsure whether he realized it before or after he married my mom. But, like many gays, he always knew from a young age that something was different. My great uncle is definitely gay. You can tell by his demeanor and the way he acts around young men. Also by his wife, horrible Karen-esque woman. The most horribly ironic part of it all is that he was a gay conversion therapist for most of his life. Yes, multiple times, and or they would be corporal of the many experiences. First time, husband would constantly make his presence known, ensure that he was making physical contact, etc. I pushed it, and lo and behold, dude got hard on public. Last time, was changing and he walked in, stared the entire time, was breathing down my neck, and then quietly left, and we had an understanding from there. Second time, was at a holiday party and this army husband who I had only seen a corporal times would not stop staring. I was having a conversation with people I had not seen for a while and army guy just placed himself outside the triangle we were talking and continued to sip his drink and stare. I was increasingly uncomfortable because there is a lot of homophobia rooted in the military, and so his intentions were unclear. Later in the evening, I went to the restroom. Was a semi-open restroom and he came in shortly after, closed and locked the door, and it all became quickly clear. Third guy, friends /husband and wife for several years. He was always super nice and complimentary, but never thought much of it. They recently separated, and he met me on Instagram and talked about some stuff, his interest, etc, and sent some photos. First guy, people are semi-aware of his sexuality. Second guy, on his 4th child, so people have no idea. Third guy, he's been very open to others that he and I talk, but I'll never talk about it. Damn, you getting all the dudes. How hunky are you? Many of the men we are talking about could be bisexual, or thing that exists. I don't understand the thought process that goes, like he has a wife, but he had sex with men, so he is gay. We would need more information to see if the man in question is gay or bi. My sister's boyfriend had a very flamboyant personality. Loved the guy, he was awesome to hang with, but I always thought he might be gay. I was wrong, fortunately for my sister. However, her next boyfriend, of which the entire family thought was straight for multiple reasons of almost a year, sent her a video of him. That was, let's just say, shocking. My stepbrother is gay. Unfortunately, we were raised Mormon. He tried to pray the gay away. He served a full mission. He came home, went to college, and married a woman. He went on to have 2 children with this woman. He then had a weak moment at the gym and sucked a random dude off. He is now a nurse in Texas living with some hot doctor guy. The best part is that he is all over Facebook with his lover and never has a shirt on. which really disturbs my stepfather. Well, I would say it was the time my married gunny asked if I wanted a massage after my platoon started joking that I was gay not far off DBF. Even weirder, his wife and kids were home. It was a party many in the platoon were invited to. I'd blown him in a sauna the week before. I've come across many married gay men, and generally their body language and reaction to an openly gay man gives them away. Some will mention gaydar, which does exist, but is nothing other than picking up social and body language cues related to attraction or rejection. I worked at a hotel. My coworker was gay and had an app that would make his phone beep when a gay man came near. With the same app, a family man came in with his family. My coworker's phone went beep. That man pulled my coworker aside and begged him not to say anything to his wife. The only thing you have to do is watch House Hunters on TLC channel to see legions of B/gay married dudes to women. One time I was in the gym and 3 episodes of that show were on in a row, and every married guy tripped my gaydar. I was watching an episode of House Hunters where it was a gay couple looking for a home. They wanted a bedroom downstairs for reasons, urban neighborhood, but otherwise smaller home. The damn realtor showed them all of these ticky-tacky suburban homes and just didn't understand that these men are not going to be raising children.